Hello out there in the interwebs. I'm your host James, and this is our first ever Stanley Live. Today we are coming to you live from La Marzocco Cafe in Seattle, just down the street from Stanley headquarters, where we are introducing our newest product line, the Go Series with Ceramivac. This revolutionary technology combines all the smoothness and odorless feel of ceramic with the legendary Stanley vacuum insulation, and it looks really good too. Today we're going to learn how to make latte art from our friend Zach here at La Marzocco.
Yeah, Zach.
He will be teaching Michelle and John from the Stanley team how to make killer latte art, and then they will compete to see who is the best latte artist on the Stanley team. And this will be decided by you, the audience. We'll also be taking questions and giving away some of our amazing new Go Series product, along with some La Marzocco shirts along the way. And if you stay tuned till the end, we'll be giving out a promo code good for the next 72 hours on stanley-pmi.com. So keep the questions, comments, and compliments coming, and feel free to play along at home. We'd love to see what you can come up with. All right, so this is Zach from La Marzocco. Why don't you tell us what you do here and take it from there.
I'm Zach from La Marzocco. I personally work with our home department, so La Marzocco Home. For those of you that don't know, La Marzocco, we primarily make espresso machines designed for cafes for commercial use, and I personally work with our home department, selling the smaller machines that you can set up in your home. Yeah.
Awesome, they're beautiful, Zach. Love it.
So
do you, you're obviously teaching us latte art here. Do you teach classes for the public?
So typically every Sunday, I'm posted up back here teaching different classes from espresso to how to steam milk and also how to pour latte art as well. So if you go to visit lamarzoccohome.com, we have an education tab at the top. You can find out more information by checking the calendar there, or generally just reach out to us and we're happy to chat to teach you more.
So you are saying that anyone can learn how to do this? Anyone can learn how to do this?
That's right, yeah. Anybody can learn how to pull a shot of espresso or steam milk or also pour latte art. Well, typically on classes, we have folks that have worked in cafes before that will come, and somebody that's literally never touched an espresso machine before, and they all do great. So that's not true.
Yeah. I've been taking his classes for years because I knew this was coming.
Already lying.
And if you have any questions from the audience, make sure you shoot them in. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely submit your questions.
Yeah. So today we're primarily not going to talk about how to pull a shot of espresso. There'll be a little bit of that and also some insight on how to steam milk, but we're going to talk about the technique of pouring latte art. So I've got an empty pitcher and an empty cup here, so don't get too pumped. I will show you some demos in a moment. But so if you guys have questions, fire away too. But the two big things that we want to focus on when pouring latte art is how high we are holding the pitcher in relation to our cup, and then also how fast. And there are generally two heights that we focus on. There's going to be a high, which is about 3 to 4 inches above where you're pouring into, and then there's a low. So we want to get really close to the liquid itself. Now, as far as the two speeds go, there's going to be a slow and then a fast. So we start generally by pouring high and slow to mix the milk and the espresso together. We want it to be integrated nicely so the drink is delicious. So high and slow, mix it all together. And if you notice, I have this cup tilted here. The reason for that is as I'm mixing, I'm going to get the liquid really close to the edge, so then I can drop down low and pour quickly to get that nice that milk to float on the top of the espresso itself to give us our latte art.
And that creates the pattern between the crema of the espresso and the milk itself.
Exactly.
He already knows what he's talking about, people.
Yeah.
So
You hear these fancy words.
I know.
I'm the resident Stanley coffee nerd.
So nerd.
I don't know if you've seen any of the coffee press videos and stuff we've
He's showing
done.
off his latte
So
art already,
Yeah,
so
we'll
expect something big.
We'll be asking the nerdy questions on this
bars.
side, and then the silly stuff can happen over there. So
Well, the fun stuff.
yeah, fun stuff.
So we go high and slow to mix, and we want to drop down low and pour quickly by touching the spout to the surface of the liquid. Pour low and fast, and we're trying to skate the milk across the surface to give us our intricate design. Build our beautiful design, we fill the cup up, and then we go from low and fast back to high and slow, and we split in half. Obviously, there's no demonstration there, so that's not the most helpful. So I'm going to
Let's see it.
Turn
Let's
around
see it.
and do a-
Michelle was getting lost in the middle of that.
I know,
So let's do it for real.
so I'm gonna,
I really need to see
yeah.
for myself how this is done. So just glaze over.
While,
It's like-
while you're
especially
getting
when
that
John
going
talks.
too, yeah, we've got a question from the audience.
Yeah.
Molly wants to know if latte art is harder with non-dairy milk.
Oh, that was my question
Yeah,
too.
that's a great question. Latte art is actually a bit harder with non-dairy milk. Whole milk is generally what you use in a cafe setting by default primarily. And the reason why it's nice to use is because it's so fatty. It's so thick. So with non-dairy milk, you're missing that fat component primarily. So when you go to steam it, the process is slightly different. However, there are really great non-dairy milk options for cafes that you can use as well.
Oat
Great.
milk is what I hear.
Oat milk is awesome. There's an awesome company called Oatly.
I have my sister-in-law
Super cool.
swears by
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, it's really good.
Great.
So if you want some non-dairy, check that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull a shot, and then I'm gonna steam a couple pitchers of milk as well. So
So Zach, while you're doing that, the La Marzocco machines are super nice, super nice. What makes them different than some of the other machines in the market?
yeah. So the biggest thing that a lot of at least home machines don't have is that our machines are commercial grade. So they're double boiler. They're very temperature and pressure stable, and they're easy to use to reproduce drinks over and over and over. So you don't really have to question if the machine is going to be reliable or not.
Okay, so it's all about that consistency.
Yeah.
Pressure, temperature, pressure, temperature.
Exactly.
It's got to be the same.
And then on
Shot
top
to
of
shot.
that, you
Such
can.
an engineer.
On top of that, our machines are fully rebuildable. So if something does go wrong, it's a machine. We have parts to fix it.
Right.
So it's not just break.
It's not a
broken, and
throwaway
done.
thing. It's
Exactly.
yeah, it's
So I saw that you were measuring something, this whole situation
Yeah.
over here.
measuring. Love it.
Tell
Yeah.
me, I need to know, because like if it was me, I would just be like, oh, I'm just gonna put some coffee in here
Yes,
and
sir.
then, get it all up in there. So measuring.
So-
why are you doing that?
Weighing coffee has become very, thank you, has become very common in the coffee world because coffee generally needs a recipe attached to it in order for it to taste great. So a proper amount of water to coffee is very important.
That's what John keeps telling me, but whatever.
You should buy a scale, yeah.
Buy a scale, everyone.
scale.
If you're going to get into coffee.
So where do you find these recipes?
Most of the time, a roaster is going to provide a recipe that they recommend. So how much coffee in and how much liquid out, or espresso, if you will, and then how long. Time is another important aspect to that recipe.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to steam Irish cream?
Irish cream? No, I haven't. Not Irish cream.
No. No, right.
Stanley's
No.
all about innovation.
I don't know. I mean, I think we
You
should
should
try
do. You should do it.
try it.
And
yeah.
my
That's not a silly
Clog out your
question.
little
That's
dirty
a
right.
legit question.
Yeah.
That's a legit question.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick demonstration. I'm going to try to pour a heart here. So we're going to start
So
high and slow, mixing our two liquids together. Drop
Okay.
down low and fast. And then when we get the cup pretty full, we go back to high and slow, and we split in half.
Ah, look at
that is pretty.
That's awesome.
I think we've got some audience questions.
Yeah.
I think.
So yeah, I've got a couple for you here.
Yeah.
So Steve wants to know if you can heat milk on the stove and still make latte art.
That's a little hard. Unfortunately, in order to pour latte art, you need to have proper texture. So you can heat milk on the stove and actually make it pretty delicious and sweet. We really want to have a consistent application of the aeration process by using the steam wand, because that makes it a little bit more challenging to control. It makes it a little bit more challenging to control if you're just putting it on the stove.
That makes
Right.
sense.
So the steam wand is very important for latte art.
Got it.
So then once you're doing that art, Ryan wants to know what's the coolest latte art you've ever seen as somebody who's sort of immersed in the space.
Probably, I think still to this day, my favorite thing to see, and I'm not very good at it, is when people pour swans. Have you guys ever seen those?
I have seen a swan.
Yeah. So it's pretty intricate because you can you pour these nice wings, and then you have to. It incorporates all the technique basically to pour a latte.
Into one piece of art.
You're pouring wings, then you pour a neck, and then you're also pouring a heart, kind of like what was there as
Very
well.
cool.
So with that said, I'll show you two common techniques in the next pour. So what I just did, I just went high and slow, low and fast, high and slow, and I split that design in half to give us a heart. Now, beyond that, there's two techniques that I like to refer to as pushing and wiggling. So as you're in the low and fast part, getting your latte art, you can push into the design, and it'll actually give you the tails around to give you a little bit more space to pour some extra latte art into. So that's commonly associated, pushing, with a tulip, which if you've ever seen tulips, they're just the stacked tiered latte art designs. So you can push into and then keep stacking those as many times as possible in your cup. And then wiggling is commonly associated with a rosetta, that nice fern.
Perfect. Yeah, and that actually answers another question from the audience.
Oh, cool.
Felicia wanted to know how to make a leaf, and I think that's going to be part of
I'll
your demonstration here.
I'll show you the next one. When I go low and fast, I'm going to push in and wiggle at the same time, and then I'm going to wiggle back out before then I go back to the high and slow and finish my design.
And a quick reminder for the audience, we do have giveaways coming up here soon after the lesson, so stay tuned for free stuff.
So, how did this even get started?
As far as latte art goes?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. I know that there is some history with David Schomer, who is from here in Seattle, started with Latte Coffee. He has this really nice, like, tight, dark roasted espressos that are delicious, and they're great for pouring latte art. I believe that's where latte art started, but I could be wrong on that, so don't hold me to that. If I'm correct, I think we had a blog post about that a while ago too. So
check it
I
out.
wouldn't be surprised.
reach out to me and I'll find the answer. My email is zach@marzocco.com, and I'm happy to. I'll find out, and then if you are curious, I'll let you know.
So we are going to do a giveaway.
We are.
We are.
So while we're going through this lesson, in the comments, why don't you guys tell us what your dream latte art would be, outside of any restrictions of reality, whatever you think would be the absolute coolest thing to see in latte art. Let us know in the comments. We're going to pick the best one and announce the winner live here in just a minute.
Yeah.
So
I want to hear some
comments
good
in.
ones too.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to jump in and
Alright,
pour a
he's getting
rosetta
there.
here. So high and slow, I want to mix the two liquids together. Drop down low and fast. I'm wiggling and pushing in, and then I wiggle back out, and then go high and slow and split in half.
Dude, that's not even fair, man.
That's beautiful.
Honestly,
And
Love
there's
it.
your leaf.
he just made it look so easy.
So
no
easy.
big
So
deal.
easy.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Do
You got it?
yeah.
you know what? I'm going to try it. You know?
Let's do it. I'm gonna get some more
The
milk.
bar has been set high.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the bar has
Let's get
definitely
down.
been set. I don't know. I mean, high for me is not that high because I'm too short. So
Yeah. I don't have that excuse.
I know.
I lack talent. That's about
Well,
Awesome.
that's okay. We all knew that.
it. It's true.
So you guys want to get prepped and throw it down?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
this thing. I'm ready for some competition.
I am.
Sweet.
I am.
Awesome.
So Zach, how long have you been doing latte art?
So I've worked in coffee for actually about 5 years. And latte art takes practice. I mean, it's something that doesn't just happen overnight. You need
So
to
this
need
is
to
not going to
repeat.
happen overnight
Well,
for me today.
I think you're going to have pretty good success.
We'll see.
I got
but
faith in
it
you.
takes some practice.
That's so
you know,
nice.
it's not like it's something that just comes. There are some people that get it really quickly and some people that take some time. But when I first started, I didn't actually have the ability to really learn very well. I just kind of did it trial by fire, and over time I just kept trying stuff. Watching videos helps a lot, but the best thing that you can do is literally just try it.
From what I understand, watching videos does not work for John.
I may have spent some time on YouTube
Yeah.
prepping for this. But one thing Zach showed us off camera while he's doing this is you can practice with water.
Yep.
So get a nice,
That's
true.
true.
Cup that
Yeah.
you would use and a pitcher, and it's these techniques. It's just so much repetitive practice to get that muscle memory right.
Yeah.
It's good, you know,
You know,
it's in the shoulder, not in the wrist.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of tricks that we were talking about, but getting the flow right and the height, that can all be done practicing with water.
Yeah.
So.
And we have our first winner.
Oh, we do.
We do. Our first winner is Oscar Johnson, and his dream latte art is Happy Little Trees.
Love it. Love it.
That Bob
That's so
Ross
cute.
reference
Oscar.
was
So Oscar,
good,
if you could
guys.
send us a DM,
Yeah.
we'll get you your cup and your amazing La Marzocco t-shirt as well, and we'll get that sent away to wherever you are. Thank you. back to you guys.
All right.
All
We're
right.
getting this milk going.
Some milk steamed.
All right. So Michelle, you're gonna jump in first.
I am.
Okay,
Yeah.
here
Oh
we
my
go.
God.
So remember,
Let's see
high
it.
and slow.
High
you want
and
to mix
slow.
everything together.
All right.
Low and fast. You want to get the spout of that pitcher really
Let's see.
close to the
Okay.
surface there.
Okay. Good Lord.
Jump right in.
I mean, yeah. All right. High and slow. Wait.
I'm getting nervous.
I got some bubbles happening. Ooh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
my
little quicker there.
Pour a little
You
quicker.
got this,
Yeah.
Michelle. You got this.
You got it.
All right.
All right. Drop down low.
Drop down low.
Get close to that surface. Get really, really close to that cup of touch.
Oh.
Yeah. Now
You
pour
got
quickly.
this.
And then.
Pour a
Let's
little
see how you
faster
wiggle.
there. Get really close to the liquid there.
Wiggle, wiggle,
Yeah.
wiggle.
Close.
Get
Drop
close.
down.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
There you go. There's something.
I don't know what is happening here.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Oh,
Wow.
Lord, I have no idea here, y'all.
This
Oh.
is
Is this happy little trees?
Michelle's street art. I love that.
It's a hurricane. You aren't kidding. That is difficult. Oh my God.
I love it. I think
So we have our first entry to the Stanley Latte Art
It looks like a
Smackdown.
brain.
All right.
Is that what we're calling it? Are we calling it
John's
the
brain.
brain?
John's brain.
John's brain. Entry number one.
Is that a Monday
John's
morning?
brain.
Is that a Monday morning
Sunday
brain or a
by
Friday night brain right
This
there?
is-
Michelle,
This
Mercy
is
Fleming.
after you and James raced
Ah,
on
yes.
bikes.
Yes, we've been known to do that
Yeah,
after a few
I
beers
know,
on the way home from the bar.
it's coming in here to be looking pretty weird.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Impressionistic.
yeah, you know.
I don't know.
Good. It's good.
Hey, I was an abstract artist once.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you still are.
I am, obviously. John's brain. Here, everyone.
John's brain.
All right.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right. John the Bumgardner.
All right, I'm gonna.
Make a little mess.
Look at that.
I know, it's amazing.
Jackson Pollock.
All right. Look at this, guys. Steady hands and the whole
Shaky
thing.
hands.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Nervous.
he
You may or may
is.
not have been sampling some of the coffee along the way today.
Yep.
I don't know.
The coffee's sweet and
Get
pour.
close. Gotta get close.
You,
Get that pitcher real close in there.
oh, get it in there. He's going around the edge, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get close enough. All right. So should I try my cheat? I don't.
You can.
What? What?
I don't think it'll work.
He's got a
It didn't come
He's
through.
got
Let's
a
see.
cheat move. Oh, he pulls the stick out of his pocket
God, that's
with the
rude.
surprise tool edition.
Lame.
Oh, wow.
All right. This is bad news.
It looks like we've got some sort of Hawaiian
St.
flower
Patty's
there.
Day was like a week ago or so. We got a
That's
little
really,
clover in
that's
there.
really aloha, John.
There's no
That front
contrast
part
there. I
sort of
don't
looks
know.
like a bike wheel with a fork in it.
Yeah. I really think you're in. I can actually see something in yours. So
Your brain.
So guys, we need you to vote. So, if you think John, the Bumgardner, with his Hawaiian flower is the winner,
the invisible flower.
please vote using your emoji for the thumbs up. And if you think Michelle Mercy Fleming is the winner, please give her a laughing face as your vote. And we will start tabulating the votes and announce our winner here in just 1 minute.
Awesome.
That's pretty
I
fun.
think
We
Michelle's
still
got
have
this.
one
That
more
is fun.
prize to give away too.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Let's do that.
So this one, we just need you guys to comment below to win, and we're gonna pick one of the winners at random. Again, for another cup and T-shirt. So
Awesome. Great. Thanks for watching with us. This has been informative.
It
It's
really has been.
one thing that I can't overstate enough is that Zach makes this look so much easier than it is.
He really does.
Just so
It is.
Well, it's
much
kind of
easier.
unfair.
Yeah,
I've had the
you're
chance to
right.
work behind a bar and make, hundreds of espressos and lattes a day. So, again, it takes practice. It takes
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, you
But
got
just
concepts
watching
and-
you do it, it's like, oh, that's easy. And then you try it, and you're like, that is
Okay.
not easy
No,
at
it is
all.
not, it is not
So
easy.
respect your baristas at home.
We'll,
That's true.
we'll get some more run-throughs after.
Yep.
after
And the producers are telling me that we have a winner.
We do?
The first
Okay.
ever Stanley Intercontinental Latte Art champion on the Stanley team. And the votes are in, and Michelle Mercy Fleming with John's brain is the winner.
We love it.
Is the winner. So we're gonna present the Latte Art Champion belt. Matches nicely with the
It does
tracksuit.
go well with the tracksuit.
It really does. I think
Yeah.
that's probably
Thank you
why.
all so much.
Another round of
Nice
applause.
job, Michelle.
Another round of
Yeah.
I really couldn't have done it without
one
John.
of
I'm making so much fun of him. Thank you. Thank you all.
Awesome, guys. That was good.
Winner number 2. So we
Yeah,
got
the
winner
winner.
number 2 coming in
All right.
here in just a second. While we got that coming from the producers, I want to make sure to share our promo code for stanley-bmi.com. It's good for 72 hours after this event as a thank you for tuning in and watching.
Yes,
Again,
thank
that's
you.
stanley-bmi.com. And the code is Smackdown. So you're gonna enter code Smackdown at checkout to get your 20% off. And we are waiting for our final winner to come in here in just a second.
One thing, John's brain always wins.
Spoken like a real engineer.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to give that to you.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, you showed
But
up.
not the belt. That's yours.
Yeah, no, of course not. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And it looks like we've got our final winner, Peter Mogish. If you could please send us a DM, then we'll get you your cup and your La Marzocco shirt sent right
Swag.
there. I'll get that
Yeah.
open. Get some sweet stuff. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning
Yes,
in.
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you,
to Stanley.
guys.
Big
Thanks to La
thanks to the crew,
Marzocco.
La Marzocco, for hosting us.
Yep.
So
Zach
awesome.
for
Thanks, man. Really
sharing
appreciate it.
your vast
Yeah.
latte art knowledge
Yep.
with us. And see you guys next time. We'll be probably around here in another month or so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Internet.